What's going on, everyone? Week 15, is that right?
Yeah, episode 15, yes,
Week
sir.
15, episode 15, to be right, of Austin and Ollie, a sports podcast with your hosts, Austin and Ollie.
Yes, sir.
Tell us where they can find us on the medias, brother.
Yeah, you can subscribe on Apple, Spotify. I think we're on Google Podcasts, all those podcasts. YouTube, give us a like, give us a share on all of them. Instagram, we're Austin_and_Ollie. TikTok, we're Austin and Ollie, all one word. Also, find all that in the show notes too. So if you're interested, please do that. It really helps us out. Give us a like, give us a rating. It's very, very much appreciated. So thank you guys very much for listening. Thank you guys for rocking with us week in and week out. We're going to keep bringing out content and keep doing all this stuff for you guys.
For sure. All right, man. We had ourselves a weekend. There was a lot going on. College football, we'll come back to that since it's kind of important again, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And then we got MLB Free Agency kind of went like going. It was kind of like slow, and then Aaron signed, and then everyone else just started saying, okay, I guess we'll start signing. Or at least the Cardinals. We'll get to that. We'll talk some Mavs basketball. Played 2 games over the week. One you could say was good, but even though they blew a lead. Another one was just absolutely terrible. And Dallas Cowboys just keep on rolling. Yeah, they keep rolling, and then the Eagles can't lose either. So there's a lot to talk about, but what were you up to this weekend?
Yeah, bro. We saw each other a lot this weekend, actually,
we did.
Let's see. We did. Friday night was your sister's birthday. So did that, kind of hung out for a bit. Saturday during the day, was just like running errands because Emily's birthday, she had like a birthday party on Saturday night. So did that. You were there too. So we were kind of hanging out, having a good time. Just hanging out, bro. It was a good time. A lot.
Yeah.
It was busy. Definitely was pretty damn tired on Sunday just because it's just like going
it was
around.
A long week, and we had Thanksgiving too, yeah.
Yeah, so surprised your voice is still intact with all the drinking, but I think
Me
for the
too.
most part,
it's like, I don't know. If you guys have noticed, I don't know if it gets worse or not every episode, but it just seems like ever since we pushed it to Mondays, it's like, crap. I gotta get my voice ready for the weekend.
Yeah, right? No, but I think it was a good weekend. It was fun. We got to
for sure.
do some cool stuff. Yeah, so it's cool. It's cool, man. Capped off by good Thanksgiving and all that stuff. So
exactly.
You were at the Cowboys game on Thanksgiving, so that's pretty big.
I was at the Cowboys game, and I was also at the Turkey Bowl. What was your result on that game? For the fans that went there.
Well, you see here's the problem: is that when the best player pulls a hamstring,
that's crazy.
No. When the best player pulls a hamstring, you're not gonna be sufficient, right? You're gonna be playing down a man. So, but when I didn't pull my hamstring, we were winning 6-4. I was dicing everybody up. So that's the score.
What was the final score?
What
was the final score?
I don't remember, man.
What did Bleacher Report say at the end of the day? What did Bleacher Report say?
Well, you see, I've slept since then, so I don't think Bleacher Report reported on that.
Okay.
That's the problem.
Well, Austin lost, guys. Austin lost. 10-9. It was good. It was a good Turkey Bowl. I'll give you that, man. It was really good. It was competitive.
It was fun.
He definitely sees who the most athletic
I don't know
host is.
No. Okay.
I know you saw me out there.
No. I'm just saying, do I got to pull out the video? Do I got to pull out the video of the race?
Just because you're faster doesn't mean you're more athletic.
No, I'm just saying, like, I'll pull it out. But
what happened when we were going at it? When you had to catch me in a foot race? What happened?
I had a pull.
What happened,
bro? What am I supposed to do? I had a pulled hamstring, bro. That's crazy.
No, yeah, for sure.
That's the truth. This is truth.
For sure. Let's get to Thanksgiving, man. I was at the game, football. I had some sick ass seats. Proud to my brother, Chris Cabral, hooked it up. Some nice ass seats for a Cowboy game.
Yeah, I saw that. It was crazy.
For NFL in general, it's a privilege to be at any like NFL game. I feel like a lot of people haven't had that experience yet, and I've had it like
especially
3 or 4 times. Yeah, especially the Cowboys. Especially Thanksgiving.
They're just so expensive.
They tax. Yeah, they tax. It's bad, and I don't know. It's never gonna be like they try to compare it to like Europe or whatever, and you go to Europe and you pay like $100 for a really good seat in any type of like soccer game. So I mean, you're always gonna be competing with that, but it was an unreal experience, and obviously it started off pretty slow. And you could say that you could be like, oh, it wasn't probably that entertaining since it was a blowout, blah, 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 up into the 3rd, 4th quarter. But when DaRon Bland got that pick 6, dude, I
can imagine, dude.
Dude, I had goosebumps. I saw him pick it. And then I was like, oh, this could be it. This could be it.
Yeah.
And then I see him chopping, and I see Sam Howell running his ass back there, trying to stop him. Sam Howell gets on one knee, proposes real quick, falls to the ground, and then DaRon Bland makes was it Brian Robinson, I think, or I forgot who it was. Make two of the running backs
somebody else
collide
fall.
And runs it in, and it was just. And seeing Dak on the sideline eating his chicken leg was probably the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Bro, I like probably like 30 minutes ago I watched. They came out with like the sounds of the sideline, the sound of the sideline, and it was just like it was great. I think it was just good vibes like, all around. Like you could tell, like I don't know, even like whenever DaRon Bland like had his pick, right? They were all like, "Hey, like the Hall of Fame's gonna come for your jersey. Like don't give it to him. Don't give it to him. Keep it like." And all this stuff, like I think that like, so I guess backtracking, yeah, obviously, right. The Cowboys won 45-10 over the Washington Commanders. Sitting 8-3, which is cool. We play again next Thursday against Seattle. That's a later problem. Looking back at the game this weekend, right? I think you can like really tell. I don't know. I think the vibe around the team is different than I feel like we've ever seen, or we've seen in a long time. Because I think that we've always like had a good vibe, or it feels like they've had good camaraderie, but like. I don't know, something about this year just like it just kind of feels a little bit different, and it's a little more like optimistic, but also I will say, right, like I mentioned it last week, the strength of schedule of the Cowboys has been pretty dog shit, right? Like just haven't played anybody good, but like you're beating the teams in front of you and you're doing it handily. And like there's so many stats that say like pretty much since the bye week and after we lost to San Francisco, take out the two losses early in the season, like Dak has been the best quarterback in the league. Like we've looked like the top team in the league. Like obviously, I mean, the loss to Philadelphia aside, I think that just been an elite team all around. I mean, offense is clicking, defense is clicking. This is something that like you don't see very often, and you just kind of hope that whenever we start to get definitely like starting with Seattle, but after that, when Buffalo, Philly, the Lions, like. You kind of hope that just kind of keeps carrying on. So it's feels good, and it's definitely a good vibe, and it's kind of something to be excited about and to stay excited about, because I feel like right now, like we have a lot to be excited for, and like the Mavs really aren't clicking. Rangers are kind of dead like not dead, but like not active right now. Like stars are cool, but like just not like our expertise. So to have that to have the Cowboys as the one thing that's like really clicking right now is really nice. So
no, yeah, I love it, dude. It's I think our plus minus is like out the water compared to the Eagles. I heard about it today. I mean, because the Eagles just winning games within a score or whatever, but they just know how to do it, and I don't know. It just
like
off.
something about Philly just like feels so fraudulent, but like they're winning games, so you can't really be like that upset about it, right? Like you can't like if I was an Eagles team, like damn, like we're winning ugly, but like you're still winning, right? So it's just the whole like I don't know, it's neither here nor there, I guess, but you're winning, and I guess good for them, right? They're sitting at like 9-1 or 10-1 or something like that.
No, I think it's 10-1, yeah.
Yeah, 10-1. So just gotta hope that we can do something about that here in a couple weeks. I don't know. I mean, I really don't want the bye personally. I think when you have the bye, it kind of throws off the rhythm, and I think this team is performing at such a good rhythm. You don't really want that, but I think the 5 seed will be okay as long as we can kind of hold on to that. And it looks like the NFC South isn't really somebody to be too afraid of.
Too worried about, yeah.
Yeah, whether it's the Falcons or the Saints too. But I mean, that's way down the road. We got to get through it here, and we got to still, take care of business while we need to, and kind of show that we are an elite team capable of winning the whole thing, right? So
yeah. Back to your point with get the number 1 seed. I think they're obviously would want to get the 1 seed for more of the home field advantage, more so of the
that's fair.
Getting the bye or whatever. I mean, it does help you get rest and stuff like that. But I don't think this bye week is as bad as like when you're the number 1 seed or 2 seed for baseball, where you sit there for a week when you play like every day. But I think in football it's a little bit different, where you can take advantage of it with like just getting health back and just everyone it's just like a regular bye during the regular season. So it depends how your team bounces back and just gives you more time to prepare for it, vice versa, whatever. But I think mostly since this team has been doing so damn good at home, like if you could just stay at home, that would be the best thing ever. And I mean, they would have to beat a higher seed, obviously, to get home field, or if they can even get a home playoff game, right?
Yeah, I guess that's a good point because like if we were to win, I think right now it's Atlanta or whoever won the Atlanta and the Saints game.
Yeah, Atlanta.
Whoever that is, yeah. So they're the team that we would go play, and so we'd have to go to Atlanta to go. So and I think that's a good shout, right?
Do you know who we play after, or like what's the next thing after that?
Does it reseed? Yeah, it reseeds. So basically, it's just kind of like whoever else wins.
Could probably be the Lions, maybe, right? Or I don't know.
Yeah, I would assume it's probably the 3 seed. Or the bad thing is, it could be Philly.
That's what I'm saying. It could be Philly.
It could be Philly, right? So, yeah.
Depending if there's like an upset or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know, man. I think that that's something to look forward to down the line, right? We don't have to worry about it. I mean, it's still what weeks? We just finished week 12, or it's happening right now. So I think we got a little bit of time, but I think that's something to kind of start looking at. And as long as, like I said, the Cowboys keep taking care of business and something like that, that's obviously right. What you kind of want to see.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about Dak during the game? I kind of thought he continues to look elite. I mean, he's balling out. He's probably playing the best ball of his life.
I love it, man, and congrats to him. If you guys didn't know, he's having a kid with a Latina mommy, as he fucking should. See what happens, guys, when you go to Latina. He just starts bawling, and he said, "I'm securing her by putting a kid inside of her." So that's him right now, and he's absolutely hooping.
It's crazy, bro. He's got the dad strength. He kind of said it today. He's got the dad strength. I mean, to have 330 yards, 4 tuds, 0 picks. I think he has the highest expected points added per play of any quarterback in NFL right now. This dude he's playing the best ball of his career, right? So I love it. It's something good to see. Kind of need to show it outside of in a crunch time game because we haven't really had to see that other
Trust
than
me, he's about to.
Yeah,
the next couple of weeks after this Seahawks game.
Yeah, so definitely need to see that. But I think still right now, you can't really be too mad about it or anything like that. I think he's balling. He's doing what you want to do. I mean, he's not really playing much in the fourth quarter, which is good because it's saving him from taking hits or saving his arm or something like that. So I think that's cool. Another guy I thought was kind of important that we kind of needed to see a game like this from him was Tony Pollard. Only ran the ball 13 times, but still 80 yards, a tud, had 6 receptions for 24 yards. So almost just over 100 total yards, was nice, and a tud. So I think to average just over 5 yards a touch, I think is, especially for a running back, is great. And I think CD kind of said it last week, right? We just kind of are picking who we want to get going. I think that it was Tony's turn to kind of get going, and he did, and it was effective without taking too many shots, which is really nice. So
yeah, would you believe me if I told you that the highest guy with receptions was Tony Pollard on the team?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's crazy to think about. There's a lot of checkdowns, man. Hey, and then you know what? That's Dak playing smart though. You got to think about it, right?
No, yeah.
I'm sure there were a couple screens, but at the end of the day, it's Dak trying to not take a sack, or just getting it to safety route, instead of being 2nd and 13, it's 2nd and 7. I mean, that just makes such a big difference, right? So
I think the bigger surprise was with Ferguson, just with 1 reception.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about too. And I think that
he shows you how the script goes with whatever they're playing with.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. And I think that I remember seeing a ton of it was toss sweeps or something like that. Just they were trying to get to the outside more.
Yeah.
Which I think it kind of works. So if that's what's going to work, bro, and they're diverse in their game plans, which I think is great, and I think it's necessary because I think that they can't just stick to, okay, we're going to force feed CD every week, or we're going to get the ball to Jake Ferguson every week. Just kind of is what it is. What's going to happen is going to happen. So, but yeah, man, anything else in regards to the game last week? I feel it's not really a ton to talk about. But
I mean, you get
no.
I was a little worried at the beginning with Dak had CD and I think Gallup too on the first drive. He had them for deep balls and missed them by a little bit. I was just hopefully that doesn't come back and get us. And bro, it was a close game. At some point it was 20-10, and I mean Sam Howell threw for 300
he was
yards.
over 300.
Threw for 300. Yeah, exactly 300. Show some good stuff again, and also show some bad stuff, but only so much you can do. And I mean, I was watching DaRon Bland for the first time in person, and I was just seeing him get he was kind of giving up a lot of yards. I was just like, damn it. Like every time I see him like on a tackle or something, I was like, that's your guy. It was him against Dodson or like Scary Terry. And I was just like, damn, he's really just another Trayvon Diggs. And
and I think the bad thing about that too is like he's a cover corner. Like they're gonna go at him, and he's gonna be with the best guy. Yeah. And I think he led the team in tackles last week, which like from your corner you don't really want to see. But still,
yeah, that's what I was like. I think I saw him tackling almost. He did lead with 10 tackles. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Yeah, but like at the end of the day, right? Like he's not giving up touchdowns, really.
Yeah.
He scored.
He's only given up
honestly,
2, I think.
Yeah,
the whole season.
Definitely scored more touchdowns than he's given up, and he's scored more touchdowns than a lot of receivers out there. So yeah. So I think that it kind of is what it is. It's the nature of the beast, right? Playing corner, like you're just gonna. Sometimes you're going to be on an island and you're going to be playing against guys. I mean, Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel and those guys, they're studs, right? So he's sticking with him. He's doing his thing. And I think, like, I want to say that, like, when targeted, like, his passer rating that when targeted against is still so low. So, and I don't think he's as big, like, boom or bust as Diggs was, especially, I think was it 2 years ago when Diggs kind of broke out? Yeah. So, like, where it was either, like, he was giving up 120 yards and then getting a pick six, or like, you know what I mean? Whereas like, I think Bland's a little bit more like even keel. He may give up 50 yards, but he's also not going to get burned over the top or guess a little bit too much.
I don't think I've seen that yet so far.
Yeah. It's kind of been the problem with Diggs, which is, you know, where people kind of have a little bit of discourse about him, right? So,
yeah.
But moving on, I think that's pretty much easy to wrap up, right? It was a pretty easy game. Or I don't want to say easy game, but a pretty relatively uneventful game. But looking ahead, right, Thursday night, Seattle is who we're playing. We're playing at home. This little segment right here will be brought to you by FTM Analytics. They are our new sports betting analytics partners. You guys need to go check them out. I'll put them in the episode show notes. But basically, right, FTM Analytics is like a website that when you're doing sports betting, you want to be educated and you want to be sure that like you have the most up-to-date information, that you know where the trends are, that you know, oh, Dallas is 5-0 at home and they're covering this many times whenever they're at home, so on and so forth. Well, FTM is that group that will have it for you. They have elite predictions, elite projections that will basically give you a nice, easy little interface, has a star rating best over their best bet, what their algorithm is saying is the best bet. Obviously, it's not going to 100%, right? But it will give you all the information you need to be informed, to basically do everything you need. And if you want to make a sports bet, they're the people that do it. They have NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, baseball whenever it's back, NHL, all that stuff. So definitely, guys, go check them out. They're great partners. They have a lot of really, really cool information. Take a deep dive on their website. I'll have their website in the link below, and also you can go check them out on Instagram and all that stuff at FTM Analytics. But moving ahead to the Cowboys. So when I was diving in on FTM, I was pretty impressed or pretty surprised, kind of looking ahead, that the spread is already 9. The Cowboys are favored by 9 points. But what's crazy to me is that it's moved so much, because when it opened, it was only Cowboys by 7. So definitely a lot of action, as people saying that the Cowboys are going to be the ones that are going to cover that spread, which is why the books, right, are moving it up and up and up, trying to make it harder, trying to make a little bit of money back. But how are you feeling for that game? What do you kind of expect to see, and what do you expect the result to be? Just an early prediction, right? Early prediction.
Yeah, early prediction. I mean, yeah, we're gonna play on a Thursday again. I think kind of weird, but we've been doing that for a while now.
Yep.
I mentioned it before. Obviously, they strive off of offense. If you look at the games they've lost, I mean, the really recent weeks, lost to the Niners. I mean, it's the Niners. Put 13 points up against the Rams. They've only put 16. They lost by 1, 17. The other one, they only put up 3, and the ones they've won, it's like plus 20, basically. So I guess the key to the game is trying to keep them under 20, if you can. But I can trust this Cowboys offense to put more than 20, even if they get to 20. It's just an inconsistency with the offense. I don't know if you know if Kenneth Walker is going to play or not. I know he didn't play last week.
I think he is still listed as
questionable.
I think is what I saw.
He might be a game time, but I think he'll play. So it'd be massive if he doesn't play, because I think they really have some really good receivers out there. I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba hasn't really got up there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, as we wanted to. Tyler Lockett's Tyler Lockett. He's going to get you those 40, 50 yards consistently. And DK Metcalf is just, I think that's going to be someone you're going to worry about. It's just a big guy, vertical dude, and he just get up there. And I mean, hopefully he throws some like bitch fits like he always does against the Cowboys, because Geno Smith is getting absolutely just crowded in his pocket. So that's what we're hoping with. I'm pretty confident. I don't know. You probably haven't heard me say that multiple times, but I don't know. Yeah. Man, it is football again, Thursday, and you are on a crazy streak. We're just taking advantage of the opponents that you have in front of you. So I'm pretty confident. I would, man. We're going to keep covering the spread, man. I don't know if we can keep doing that.
Yeah, so I guess I can give you a little bit of stats. So in the Cowboys' last 5 games, they're 4-1 against the spread. The one game that they did not cover the spread was when they lost to Philadelphia. It was a 3-point spread. They lost by 5, right?
Yeah.
The Seahawks in their last 5 are 1-3-1. So the only win that they have against the spread was, I guess, what would that be, 2 weeks ago against the Rams, where they were a 2-point underdog and ended up losing by 1.
Barely
so
covered,
kind of covers.
Yeah.
Yep. Over under shout. So the over under, the point total for the game right now is 46. Opened at 46.5, so it's kind of gone down. In the last 5, the Cowboys are 4-0-1 to the over, and then the Seahawks are 3-2 to the over. So take with that what you will. Personally, I think that, I mean, obviously, right, like, say it every week, you know, this is when you're riding the emotional high of the Cowboys, right? You get so excited. You're like, oh, man, like, this is the year. Like, we're looking good. And then you're like, all right, I'm going to say the Cowboys are going to win this week. And this is the week that they fucking bring you back down the earth. They knock you back down the pedestal. And it's, for whatever reason, they just don't perform. With that being said, I'm still thinking the Cowboys are still going to win. I think that the Seahawks are a good team. But the Cowboys are at home. They're 5-0 at home this year, which obviously, right, commentators' curse is going to happen. We're going to bring back YDKB next week whenever the Cowboys lose. Mm-hmm. But I think the spread and Cowboys -9, sure, I think that's going to hit. And I think the over is definitely going to hit. I think the Cowboys offense is, I mean, we saw that last week. I mean, they're good enough to cover the over on their own. So I think that I wouldn't be surprised if it goes over. I think both teams are on a full week, right? It's not like it's a
no one has the advantage on anyone.
Because they both played on Thanksgiving. So yeah, I think Cowboys -9 over 46. I think that's a pretty good shout. Sneaky little like I don't know. CeeDee Lamb's probably due for another touchdown. Maybe that'd be kind of nice. So I don't know.
Yeah,
that's kind of what I got. Maybe Dak rushing touchdown. I could see that happening.
Ooh, okay. That was ballsy right there. I'll give you that. Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, that's what I'm thinking. So we'll see. But
we'll see. We'll see on Thursday. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Make sure you guys use them.
But yeah. Anything else Cowboys wise, or you want to move to the Mavs?
I was with the Mavs real quick.
They
played the Lakers and Clippers out of the LA trip, and I was at a friend's giving, and I was like, oh, I forgot they're playing, and I was like, oh, we're smacking these guys. And then the fourth quarter happened. They had 8. They were like getting outscored like 20-something to 8 at some point, and they only finished the fourth quarter with 13 points. Derek Lively did leave that game, so I think that's when the problem started happening, where you have to play Dwight Powell and Rashawn Holmes in place for that. And the next game, you see that Derek Lively doesn't play again, and you get absolutely embarrassed and outboarded by the Clippers. So
yeah,
that's what I saw.
It's just not like it's kind of sucks. And I think that this is why, like, throwing it back to maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, where somebody was like, "Oh, the Mavs need to trade for another big man." Like, I think this is when it shows that we kind of need another big man, because, like, looking at it, right, like, Derek Lively, we shouldn't be so reliant on a rookie to be that guy to kind of like solidify our interior, or to be the only one that gets offensive boards. Whereas, like, it's shown like Dwight Powell's not a good defensive center. Yeah. He's okay on the offensive side, but not a good defensive center. You can't play Maxi Kleber there. Like, that's not really going to work. Rashawn Holmes, like, just hasn't really panned out for what we did. I mean, for what we traded, what was it, pick 10, and for him and Omax.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess, right, salary dump is cool, but still, I don't know. I think it's you need a little bit of center help. And Derek Lively, as much as I like him, I think that it's going to hurt not having him, and we kind of hope that he comes back definitely against. I mean, the Rockets are playing well. I think they play the Rockets tomorrow, right? So
yeah, tomorrow.
you want him to come back for that, but I don't know if he's going to be back for it. So we're gonna need, and then obviously, right, like Luka gets kind of banged up in the Clippers
His
game
hand,
because I think it was
for
his
the Clipper
thumb.
game.
Yeah,
Still
like
dropped 30 though.
Thumb so it's not looking good. It's kind of disjointed right now. Defense isn't great. Offense doesn't really feel like it's clicking. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like, where do you go with guys are banged up, and this is not what you want after starting the season so well.
Happens to everyone though, injuries, and I mean, this was the first game or the Clipper game was, I think, the first time where your offense was, started from the Laker game, it started kind of like slowing down with the 101. You were in the 115s, 120 area, and then you dropped 88, and Luka and Kyrie had like, I think, 56 of those points. So can't complain with those guys, but it was just the second chance points where they just keep getting beat. Get outboarded by 20.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Yeah, it's just and you were losing by the most 24, and then
I mean, maybe it's just, hopefully, right, like it's just a little slump, like they were just on a road trip in LA, like kind of is what it is. Obviously, right, guys. It was a pretty
long road trip, so I think they're coming home for a couple of games, I would hope.
Yeah, so it is what it is, man. Hopefully kind of figure it out. I was kind of shocked to see that. I didn't realize the Mavs had a 19-point lead, and then with 50 seconds to go, they were losing the game. So like it kind of against the Lakers specifically. Yeah. So it kind of shows how bad they did, and just to kind of is what it is, I guess. So one
just happy you come out with the win. Just happy that you came out with that, because losing that one would just hurt even more than just like a blowout like this one against the Clippers.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, but anyway, man, got anything else? I know we're eliminated from the in-season tournament, which is I guess is crazy. What it is. I mean, this is the last.
I wish I could tell you what just happened, but no, I don't know. We're out of the tournament. We're playing like 2 games, I think, or 3.
Oh well.
They were 1 and 2. We were 1 and 2.
Yeah, 1 and 2. This.
Oh well, focus on the league now.
Tomorrow.
Focus on the league.
Yeah. Good. Thank goodness we don't have to see the ugly court. Hopefully anymore. This courts are just such an eyesore.
We didn't even get to debuters. I think we're debuters tomorrow. It's pretty nice.
It's debuting tomorrow.
I should be there too. Hopefully, I have tickets for that.
Come on now.
So we'll see how it goes. I get to see Sengun just absolutely shit on my team.
Don't say that. Nah, don't say that. Don't say that.
Hey, we can still win. We can still win.
Yeah, I think the Mavs will be all right. The Mavs will be fine. Hey, you can pop out there, shoot a couple threes, help us out, get in the boards.
Who?
You. I see the hops. I see the legs.
Since I'm 5'9" now. Since I'm 5'9" now.
You're 5'10". I've measured you at 5'10".
I'm 5'10". My bad, guys. I'm 5'10". I'm 5'10" now. I gotta update my license. That's what I gotta do this weekend.
But anyway, bro, you got anything else Mavs wise? You want to move to bring back the much beloved segment AU?
Yeah, man. This has got to be the easiest class I've ever had in college, man.
Come on.
It was 2 or 3 classes, and professor just didn't show up anymore.
Easy A,
baby. Easy A. Let's go. I guess I'll go to class the one time he has it again.
All right, do. All right, so look, right, college football playoffs coming around. This week is the championship week, so got all the conference championships going on. But really, the big talking point that we're seeing right now is there's pretty much 8 teams that are available left to make the last 4 spots of the college football playoff, right? So everything could kind of solidify itself really easy. The 8 teams that we're looking at are Georgia, who's undefeated, Michigan undefeated, Washington undefeated, Florida State undefeated. So they're all in their individual own conference championship games. Georgia is playing Alabama and SEC. Michigan just beat Ohio State. They're playing Iowa in the Big Ten. Washington is having a big rematch against Oregon in the Pac-12 on Friday. And then Florida's playing Louisville on Saturday as well in the ACC championship. But where it gets a little bit dicey is there's 4 teams right after that are all 11-1 that all have really good shots at getting in, right? So Oregon 11-1. They lost a couple weeks ago to Washington 33-36, but they have a rematch against Washington in the Pac-12 championship on Friday. Ohio State just this weekend lost to Michigan 24-30, but they're not going to be able to be in the Big Ten championship because just the way the divisions work out, right? So that's a big issue. Then you got Texas. They lost 34-30 earlier in the season to OU, but they have a big win against Bama in Alabama, which is massive. And then they're playing in the Big 12 championship against Oklahoma State this weekend. And then the last team that's kind of sitting there about is Alabama, which they lost 24-34 to Texas in Tuscaloosa, like I said, but they're playing Georgia in SEC championship. So a lot of these teams can kind of like, really aside from Ohio State, a lot of these teams, in my opinion, have an opportunity. Yeah, can have an opportunity to play in.
Mm-hmm.
So where, like I said, easiest scenario, I think Georgia, Michigan, Washington, and Florida State all win. I think they're automatically in because it's so hard to, in my opinion, you can't leave out undefeated conference championships, but really like conference champions. But where the issues lie is, okay, what happens if Georgia loses to Alabama? What happens if really it's Washington and Oregon? What happens if they lose and if Florida State loses? So I think that Michigan is probably the one that, of the three, is probably the safest to win. And I'd probably say also Texas. I think Texas is going to win because Oklahoma State's really not that good either. So you have a 12-1 Georgia team that just lost to Alabama. But then, right, like it's just a whole like situation because then, Georgia lost to Alabama. Georgia lost to Alabama. Well, Alabama lost to Texas, so that means that Texas has to go back up. Oh, well, Oregon beats Washington, but Washington also already beat Oregon. So, like, which one do they care about more? Oregon probably gets in because they're playing better ball. Florida State lost their starting quarterback. So if they lose, like, it's a whole deal. So, I want to give my prediction on what I think is going to happen, who I think is going to make the playoff, and who I think is what it is. So, I think that Georgia, I'm going to leave Georgia and Alabama because I don't know that one. I think Michigan is a lock. I think Michigan's going to win.
Yeah.
I think Michigan's going to win. I think that Oregon probably knocks off Washington. And I think Oregon's probably playing the best ball right now in the country, which sucks because I think Washington's a really good team. They have a lot of shades of like how TC was last year. But I think that Oregon's probably playing really good ball. So I think for sure right now, Michigan and Oregon are in. I think Florida State loses. I think they're out because their quarterback's hurt. The guy that Tate Rodemaker, there's the guy that they started last week in place of Jordan Travis. He isn't playing well. Doesn't have a ton of experience. And Louisville I think they're 10-2. They just lost a bad game to Kentucky, which sucks, which is a big rivalry game. But I think there's still athletic enough, playmakers enough to really do so. So that kind of eliminates Florida State out of the equation. So that leaves probably Texas, Bama, Georgia, all that kind of deal. So I think that say Alabama wins in this situation, then I think that Texas is in. So that gives you Michigan, Oregon, Texas. And then it's like, do you pick between Ohio State, Alabama, or Georgia? Which I think then in that case, right, you probably take Alabama because Alabama just beat Georgia. So then like it would kind of, it's a whole puzzle, dude. I don't know. And it's just like, there's so many different scenarios that you just need to like
wait always until like this?
Saturday. I don't think it's usually this convoluted.
Or is it the toughest it's been?
I think this is probably the toughest it's been, where there's been like 8 solid teams to where it could like any way could play out. Yeah. Whereas like last year it was probably like 5 or 6 up until the last day, and then it kind of like took care of itself because USC lost in the championship, so that dropped them to 2 losses, which allowed Ohio State to get in. So I think this is just the first year, probably since 2014, which is when the playoff first started, where you've had 6 or like in 2014 it was 6 teams, but this year you have 8 teams that all legitimately have a reason why they feel like they should be in. So it's a good time to like want to have a lot of high stakes football that is like you're going to have important games all weekend, because I think you have the Pac-12 championship on Friday. Saturday morning is Texas or Oklahoma State, which like Texas loses that game in a shocking manner. Like they're gone. Oregon, Washington on Friday night's like a big game. Georgia, Bama, I think is at 3 on Saturday. Michigan, Iowa, like, I mean, I doubt that game's going to do anything, but still. And then you got Iowa, Florida State, Louisville. Yeah. So there's a lot of crazy stuff that can happen. I think that, like I said, I think it's going to ultimately be Michigan, Oregon, probably Texas, and the winner of Georgia and Alabama. I think those are probably those are probably the 4 that I think make it. I could see Washington, Oregon flipping, but yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff. Kind of see how it goes, but that's quick and dirty AU. So, any questions from the class?
Yeah, thanks for coming back, Professor.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about TCU.
It's gonna be a big test.
We don't.
Why not? What happened? Didn't they get dropped on like 69?
Yeah, they scored 45. You want to talk about that?
That's what I try to bring it up to you, and you're like, "Oh, bro, don't talk."
Good.
I'm like, "Bro, it's like y'all put up 45. It just sucks that they put up 24 more points.
They put up more, yeah,
or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it sucks.
Math is.
Oh, well.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Well, let's go get our gloves. Let's go to the outfield. How about that?
Let's do it, man. I was itching, bro.
Let's
do it, dude. I told you there was a lot of stuff going on. Finally, some free agency moves were going on. There was a trade happening too. What I'm surprised about is we talked about it a little bit last week with St. Louis. If there were somehow buyers, even though when there were sellers at the trade deadline.
Yeah,
that's how we got Jordan Montgomery. They gave up Jordan Hicks too. Yeah, the reliever.
Yeah.
It was just kind of surprising. I mean, they had a pretty bad season. Even though they have a really, you name their players, you got Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, at some point you had Jordan Montgomery, all these guys, and they just didn't do what they were supposed to, and they did what what was right. They traded at the deadline. They were sellers, and people were just thinking they're rebuilding. But then you hear that Jordan Montgomery is linked back there, and then I think that's just kind of dumb. Why would Jordan Montgomery want to go back?
Yeah, he won't go back there
to a team that he just see that he was successful, but the team wasn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if we mentioned it, but they signed Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn. I don't know if that was last week or this was the same week too.
Yeah.
It was back-to-back days. They literally are going to the Rangers and said, okay, we're going to take Lance Lynn, former Ranger, Kyle Gibson, former Ranger. And then they just signed Sonny Gray, another big pitcher off the market. It was Sonny Gray for 3 years for $75 million, 34 years of age. He had a 2.79 ERA last year. And I think he was one of the Cy Young guys too, or at least candidates.
Yeah.
So they definitely went to the starting rotation, almost like the Rangers did last year with signing Nathan Eovaldi,
Heaney,
Jacob deGrom, Heaney, and if you forgot, the guy that played for the Astros. Why can't I forget his name? He didn't even play an inning for us.
Odorizzi, whatever the guy.
Odorizzi, Jake Odorizzi. Jake Odorizzi.
Yeah.
So they went on that route, and they just said, let's get our rotation on. And there's two ways you can see this. Everyone's looking at it and goes, oh, wow, this rotation looks sick in 2016.
Yeah,
so
they're
a couple
old.
years ago. Because all their average age is 35.
Yeah,
the starting rotation average age is 35. Not a big fan of Lance Lynn just because, doesn't look good. And maybe pitch clock is just not his thing. Kyle Gibson, he's a reliable, mid-4, a little bit below 5 ERA dude. That's going to get you... He's going to get you innings, though. He'll go out there, pitch you some, so I guess that's good. He's going to be I think, your 4-3 at best in the back end rotation. But they do have a solid rotation. We'll see how that goes, how age comes into consideration. Oh, yeah, but you start to wonder, what are they going to do now? They seem like they have the infield kind of set up. I have this... I can't even open the link, but it's okay. Their batting was kind of average. They had some utility guys with Dylan Carlson and blah, blah, blah. But I still think that they're going to be, I don't know about contenders.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that this kind of a lot of their moves, in my opinion, don't really make much sense, right? Lance Lynn, I think he was with the White Sox this past year, just gave up a ton of home runs.
White Sox and then Dodgers. Yeah, towards the end, he got traded to Dodgers.
And Kyle Gibson, I think too, is just I don't know. I think they have to have they're obviously right. They're doing it for a reason. So I think that they have to have some sort of belief that, maybe their pitching coach has some idea on there's a reason why they're going out and getting those earlies. But and it's not like these are guys that they're kind of getting towards the back end of free agency. No, these are moves that they're making first 2 weeks before a lot of these big dominoes are even falling. Shohei's still.
Yeah, you would think these are the last guys to get out the
last guys.
They got Sonny Gray. Yeah. Sonny Gray is massive, I think, in their opinion. 3 years for 75 is quite a bit.
Yeah, I feel that's a lot for a 34-year-old.
25 for a 34-year-old. But he did have a really good year, so he's going to be your ace, obviously. Oh, yeah, but Lance Lynn and Kyle Gibson, like you said, these are the guys that you would think they're it's a couple weeks or a couple days left, a couple hours left in free agency. You go, okay, I guess
I guess I'll take him. I'll throw a spring training invite or something like that. I don't know. It's just I feel it doesn't really make much sense. In my opinion, obviously they have to have some sort of reason to do it, but still, I'm not super impressed. I don't think 1 or 2. If I was in their division, I wouldn't be super worried about them. But obviously, right, there could be some sort of like money ball deal at play. I don't know. I mean, maybe there's some sort of
Yeah, I mean,
that
they're
they
just
have
looking at the
faith.
numbers. I don't know.
Yeah, who
The
knows?
ERA plus or the whatever those stats they have now for pitchers, they're just looking at all those numbers and
Yeah, who knows?
I don't know. We'll stay in the National League with Eugenio Suarez. That name sounds familiar. He was a third baseman for the Seattle Mariners. He was there for a couple years. He was on the Reds. He got traded with a big contract and got dealt to the Diamondbacks, the World Series finalist, because they lost to your Texas Rangers World Series champions, in case you forgot.
Yes, sir. Oh, yeah, we've got to bring that up. Yeah,
I don't know if anyone forgot. But
no.
in the return, the Mariners got a reliever, Carlos Vargas, and a catcher, Sebi Zavala. That's supposed to be a backup guy. And the reliever is someone with control. He was he throws heat from what I was reading, 98, 99, one of the most hardest hitting or hardest throwing pitchers. So you'll see, I'm pretty sure, a lot of him in divisional games against the Rangers. But yeah, Eugenio Suarez, he batted .232 this past year, so it's kind of, I mean, he's a power hitter. Yeah. 22 home runs and 96 RBIs. Him and Teoscar are gone already from the Mariners. Those were the top 2 RBI getters. So 96 RBIs, you look at that, I mean, if you're close to 100, that's massive.
Yeah.
I think, regardless of what it is. But when I was hearing, I think the owner or manager was wanted more contact hitter guys, and Eugenio Suarez was really like a go yard or a not going yard. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they were second in strikeout rate in the whole MLB with 25.9%. Yeah, so that's why they were able to trade off, and they got the backup catcher with Sebi Zavala and a good arm for their. I mean, I think they already had a pretty decent bullpen, and by them missing out only, I think by a game or two. I mean, the Rangers knocked them out.
Yeah, they were pretty close.
They had that hot. Was it September? They were really hot.
Yeah, it was the end of September. They came on really late, and they were
and J-Rod was absolutely insane.
Yeah, it was disgusting.
Yeah. But yeah, they also got Luis Urias. I had no idea, or Luis Urias, however you want to say it, if you want to go Spanish or American.
Okay.
Luis Urias signs with them, where he got traded by, it was some bum shit, but he was on the Red Sox. He was pretty decent, so I guess that's their starting third baseman now. He was batting like 170 last year, so I don't know what they're doing with that. Like, again, maybe the money ball stuff. Maybe he gets contact more than the other guy, but I'm taking the guy that gets 96 ribbies more than.
I feel like like he hit 194 on 144 at bats, which I feel like that's got to be that's pretty much comparable to like a Josh Smith kind of guy.
Yeah, but I think that as of right now, I think he's got the third base, so I don't know what they're gonna do now because Matt Chapman's still out there. Another guy that I think that's kind of like under the radar, just kind of under the dust, where I don't know, people just kind of forgot. At least I forgot, but Matt Chapman's pretty good. He had a good month forgot what month it was, but he kind of went down after that with the Blue Jays, but he might go back there. Some Shohei Ohtani news. It looks like I don't know if this is official or not, but I think Jeff Passan said there's like 3 teams that are really in. It's the Toronto Blue Jays. Why?
Yep.
Dodgers and your Texas Rangers
and
are the top 3 teams. Your Texas Rangers. Your World Series champions, Texas Rangers.
Yeah, don't forget.
My apologies.
No.
But yeah, so the Yankees came out, or I don't know who came out, probably like a reporter saying that they're not focused on Shohei, and it's like, cool, you weren't even close to getting Shohei, so it's okay. It's like the A's coming out and go, yeah, we're not pursuing Shohei anymore. But okay, bro. They're going to focus on Yamamoto, the other Japanese pitcher, which I think the Yankees might be the one to get him.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Yeah. That sounds like a Yankee signing.
It does sound like a Yankee signing. It's going to be a fat-ass contract. Unless the Mets come in and go payroll. But I think they're kind of in the rebuild. But you never know with those guys.
And he's a stud, too. And he's young, too, right? He's like 25, 26, something like that.
25, Yamamoto, yeah. He's a dog. Jason Hayward, just a little smaller guy. Signs with the Dodgers. He had a homecoming this year. He did pretty good. Yeah, about 269. Had 15 home runs.
Good slash line.
23 doubles and 377 trips to the plate. So
yeah, it's not bad.
He was pretty good with the Dodgers, and he was a pretty good outfielder too. So he kind of re-upped his career, and the Dodgers said, you know what, we're going to keep you out here. Let's see, unless I don't know what they're going to do in the outfield with them.
Yeah, I remember when he debuted with what was it, the Braves, I think? Like, a long time ago.
I think so, yeah.
But I because for whatever reason I was like we moved out there for my dad's job, and I remember going to Braves games, and just him. Like that was back in like the tail end, like Chipper Jones's career and stuff like that. But like I remember he was just a baller back then, and to see the kind of him like resurgent, having a career resurgence is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So 1 for 9, I think and that's a pretty good slash line for somebody that's he's in the back end of his career anyway. So I think that's good for him.
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, it's good for the Dodgers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously they're not done because they're still one with Shohei, and I don't know if Yamamoto too. I know it's another guy they're talking about, and I mean Blake Snell is out there too. And yeah, you got to think about it. There's still some really huge arms out there that are waiting to get signed. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the Braves are in on Dylan Cease. It looks like he should be dealt. I'd be very surprised if he stays with the White Sox, knowing what they're just, I don't know what the organization is going to. Luis Robert too. I mean, I don't know, he probably stays maybe, but that's another guy that people should be looking at. He's a big power hitter and outfielder. Yep. But yeah, those are the two guys in the White Sox that are probably going to get dealt. And Dylan Cease just looks like he fits for the Braves. It looks like him and Spencer Strider would have a pretty good time together. I don't know. I was thinking about it today. I was like, how does Dylan Cease look like? And I just kept picturing Spencer Strider in my head.
Strider, they just look the same.
Like I was just like, are they this? I was like, no.
But
they're
the same guy.
Yeah, they're basically the same guy. So they'll probably go to the Braves. The Braves have a lot, and I mean, I think they value starting pitching a lot. So that's another eye to keep on. 2 more Japanese players got into the market because they have to kind of get like accepted or some crap.
Yeah, to be posted. Yeah, posted
or something. Yeah. So Young Hoo Lee was posted, or should be posted in December. He's a 25-year-old outfielder. I think this guy's gonna be a pretty low key, pretty good guy. I think he had a good WBC, if I'm not mistaken. Supposedly there's 3 teams on him: Giants, Yankees, Padres. He played in the KBO. That's the Japanese league or whatever. Since he was 18. Korean, my bad. So yeah, I messed out the J. K. 18-year-old, or he was in the KBO since he was 18. He's been a consistent hitter. He's batted over 300 in each of his 7 seasons. So he's not a power hitter. I mean, his career high is season high is 23 homers. So he's contact, and he's a pretty fast outfielder. And just in general, he's a good outfielder. He missed half of the season last year because of an ankle injury, but he has a lifetime batting average of 340. I feel like this guy's not. Like I think Lee's not talking about it a lot. Like he hasn't been talking about.
His career OPS is like right at 900 too, which is crazy, especially for somebody that's been playing. That's had pretty much 500 plate appearances. I mean, since he's been healthy.
Yeah,
which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that's
a guy.
It's a good shot. I think that's a cool
Yeah,
that's gonna be a good. I think that's gonna be a good player
under the radar. Just let's see where he goes.
Yeah,
the Giants are part of this. I might see him going to the Giants. Yankees too, but it'll be a little cheaper, I think, option for other people. And the last one is Shota Imanaga, I think is his name, or it's a Shuta.
It's a good
I don't want to go Shuta or not.
It's definitely Shota. Yeah, it's definitely Shota. I know that. Okay. I know it's Shota for sure.
He finished his 2nd straight season with a sub-3 ERA, 3rd in the last 5 seasons. Since 2019, has a 2.79 ERA. Everyone's on Yamamoto, but once Yamamoto gets out, I think that's going to be the next guy that's going to get out overseas for sure.
Yeah.
It looks like, but there's been plenty of Japanese pitchers or Korean pitchers that just come over here and are supposed to be the next big thing and just like
kind of
doesn't translate very well. Maybe for a little bit, and then people start figuring them out. I don't know, but I'm excited to see them. From me just reading this, it just looks like he's been insane. He had a no-hitter in 2022. He's projected around 5 years for $85 million.
I think that's fair.
So that's a pretty cheap option. It's cheaper than Sonny Gray.
Yeah, I just did the math. That's like 17 a year. I mean, it's not that much more than.
I think that's pretty good.
The Cardinals are paying Kyle Gibson, so I think that 5 years younger too. I mean, give me that.
Yeah,
a little bit more.
Yeah, but he is 30, so he's a little more on the older age. So I don't know how long he'll be in the MLB for, but I think it's a good thing that you see that he's this old and he's able to put up those numbers.
A little seasoned, I would say.
Exactly.
Got the experience.
So I'm excited to see these guys, especially Jung Hoo Lee, to see who he would go to, because
absolutely,
it looks like he's just going to be an exciting guy to watch. Just almost like Yoshida, the guy he was a rookie for the Red Sox.
Yes.
So him. So it's gonna be more almost kind of like his type of like style. But I think if I'm picturing him right, I didn't look him up, but I think he's like kind of a tall, lengthy dude.
Let me see. I'll tell you.
Kind of like a Shohei, but like a lot smaller.
Yeah,
like a lot
he's
thinner.
6 foot. Yeah, he's 6'1", like 170. So he's like kind of tall, lanky.
Oh yeah, he's
like a shorter,
he's a tall,
like a shorter
dude.
Evan Carter. Like a shorter Evan Carter.
Go. How tall is Evan Carter? 6'3"?
6'4". He's a big dog.
Wow. Yeah, so he's like an Evan Carter, I'd say. And if he's batting with OPS and then the averages, so yeah, that's all I really got, man, for agency. I know it was a lot. I told you, man, I'm excited. I mean, this kind of happened. I mean, I told you, Aaron Nola signed and everyone just said boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So once Shohei signs, it's just gonna like dominoes.
That's all the dominoes are gonna fall, right? When are the winter meetings? They're coming up here soon, right?
Monday, from what I heard.
Oh yeah, yeah. So all this stuff, all this stuff is popping off.
It's close.
So
it's close.
It's all about their time. I mean, I bet Shohei probably has an idea where he's gonna go within the next week or two, because I think I heard that he was meeting with all the teams that he was interested in at the winter meetings. So hopefully the Rangers can kind of figure something out here soon. So yeah, man, that's kind of all I got for today. You got anything else that you want to mention? Or
okay, I'm gonna leave you the audience. You guys can answer this while you're listening to on our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, or on YouTube.
Let them know.
Would you rather, Austin?
Okay.
Give up a grand slam in the World Series Game 7, and you lose the game, like they just walked it off on you.
Okay.
Or a pick six walk off in the Super Bowl.
I think it's got to be pick six. I think something about baseball like just makes it so much worse. I don't know, because it's like when it's baseball, it's the pitcher versus the batter, right? And it's a one-on-one kind of deal, and it's just like I think we kind of saw with like Jose Leclerc. I said it so many times, like he was just like sat up there and he's like, I'm gonna fucking blow this 98-mile-an-hour fastball right by you. And like to imagine like somebody teeing off on that, seeing it 450 dead center, like that's, to me, in my opinion, that's just so much. It's so much more disrespectful. Whereas like you throw pick six in a Super Bowl, you'd be like, like had a little bit of pressure, like just had to try and make a play, like receiver ran the wrong route, line wasn't blocking. You can blame something, but
pitching, what do you blame?
Who are you blaming? You're blaming the wind? I'm not blaming the wind.
And the thing is, like, it. Pitchers know it's gone.
As soon as you throw it,
at the end of the bat, you just know. Like, you see pitchers don't even look back at it. Like, they'll just, like... I think I do the same thing, too. I
think that... I don't know. Like, I don't want to say that the energy of the crowd is different in a big game for the World Series versus the Super Bowl, but I think it kind of is.
I mean, I think October baseball is like one of the most electrifying things.
It's the atmosphere
people need to witness, and
I think it's just something about it is just a little bit different, and it's just like just has a little bit of electricity that the Super Bowl doesn't really have.
Yeah, but watch just any highlights, a highlight reel of just October, and just hear the sound, like the noise. It's just I'm glad we got to witness October baseball, and we got to see all of it happen.
You and me both.
I'm just I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it, dude. It was, dude.
It feels good. Feels good.
Yeah, I'm easily taking October baseball over anything. I just was never able to back it up because I'm like, I just watch it from a neutral fan.
Yeah, neutral perspective.
But now I was rooting for the team. So
yeah. October baseball, baby. But I think with that, guys, I think that's kind of it, man. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good episode, I think, if you ask me.
Yeah, short, sweet, to the point. A lot of stuff that we covered. But no, thank you guys so much for listening. We do appreciate you guys. Like we kind of already mentioned before, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, all that stuff. Go subscribe. Give us, rate us, give us a little 5 stars. Throw us that. If you're on YouTube, subscribe. Hit the like button. That's big time. Hit the like button. Kind of pushes us out in the algorithm. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. And again, thank you to FTM Analytics. They've been super great to us. Have a lot of really, really cool stuff. And I don't think Ollie and I can kind of, rave about their product more than we kind of already have. They were really good product. Definitely go check them out. But with that, guys, this is another episode of Austin Ollie Sports Podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.